Very simple man with big warm fuzzy secret heart. Code monkey like you. Code monkey like you.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, the Media Raptor, and well, I'm wearing different clothes for some reason. Anyhow, you guys, finally got myself some new movies and some new tapes to listen to, which are pretty awesome. But yeah, so my friend stopped by, I don't know if I can trust him yet. I mean, our deal is fair, I guess, but what he does, I don't want to be part of, and I feel bad for not trying to stop. Oh well, let's review movies. So today, you guys, we're going to take a look at a 2006 action movie that is honestly one of the most insane movies I have ever seen, and I love it. I'm talking about Crank. Yes, you guys, Crank. I'm not gonna lie, I remember really I didn't think too much about these movies at all, and then I watched a Carnage Counts of Crank, and I saw it, I'm like, you know what, this movie looks kind of fun actually. And then, I've mentioned this a bunch of times, they got a box full of movies and had a DVD of Crank, so I'm like, yeah, what the heck, I'll give it a shot. Watched it loved it so much, I went out and bought this for $6, so I got it and the sequel. So even if the sequel was bad, I'd still have at least one amazing movie, and now we're here to review it. So, I'm going to give this movie a lot of credit. John Wick may be one of the best action movies to date, but Crank, it's like if John Wick and Deadpool were the same movie, is the best way to put it. The story, it's actually a pretty interesting story. It's about Chelios, I think is his name. Yep, Chelios. Essentially, he's been poisoned with something called, was it the, it was some sort of something cocktail, like Japanese cocktail or something. And essentially, he's dying. He has 1 hour to live, which is ironic, because the movie is like an hour and 45 minutes or something. Does it even say on here? No, it doesn't. I'm bad at this. An hour and 28 minutes. So, yeah, just under an hour and a half. So he has about an hour to live, but he finds out the more adrenaline he gets in his body, he'll stay alive. So, he starts doing stuff like doing cocaine, and when that doesn't work, he starts a bar fight. And like it's just sort of all sorts of crazy, like he's just trying to get to this one guy who poisoned him, and he'll kill anyone who gets in his way. He murders the dude's brother in a hilarious scene, then calls the guy who poisoned him just to essentially tell him to go f*** himself. He's a trained assassin is the fun part. So he knows how to kill people. And he has to fight his way through a literal army just to get to this one guy. And it's pretty fun, because Chef Chelios, it's weird that I'm saying this, but much like John Wick, you like the guy. You like the serial killer. You like a man who murders people for money. And this feels weird saying, but it's the truth. He's actually kind of a fun guy. And you want him to get revenge, also because the guy who poisoned him, he is just the worst. He's that blend of a super annoying character that you absolutely loathe and want to see dead, and the actor, pulls it off perfectly, but that's more acting. So, the movie is very, very simple. There is not a lot of plot. It's just he's been poisoned, and he needs to do about 4 things. Figure out can he cure himself, figure out how to stay alive, tell his girlfriend I'm a killer, and that was actually kind of a pretty funny scene, and then kill the dude who poisoned him. What the movie lacks for plot, it more than makes up with humor. It has some amazing one-liners, some amazing shock value moments, some amazing slapstick, actually. Like, it actually goes out of its way to be as over the top, like a literal cartoon. There's even cartoon sound effects. It literally is a live action cartoon. And it's amazing in that way. Now I should warn you, the movie is pretty stupid. The movie is dumb, it barely has a plot, it just sort of goes from point A to point B. There's no real character development throughout the entire movie. There's no... It's barely even a movie when you think about it. It's more like just a whole bunch of action scenes. It's kind of like the Batman Arkham games minus the story. It's just a lot of fighting and then it kind of ends. But if you're into that, if you like mindless action movies like one I'll be reviewing next time, you're gonna love this movie. Hang on. Sorry. I think part of what makes this movie work is Jason Statham himself. The man, I first saw him in the Fast and Furious movies, and probably somewhere else, I don't remember where. But, oh my god, he loves to play this character. He plays Chev Chilios as this totally both laid-back murderer for hire and a balls-to-the-walls psychopath. And he switches back and forth within moments, and it's hilarious. Like, he can be like very much like, I'm going to count to 10, and then I'm going to kill you if you don't tell me what I want to. Okay, not that extreme, but you get my point. He's just having the time of his life with this role, and pretty much everyone in this movie is. You can tell all the actors know we're not going to get famous for this. We're not going to win an Oscar. But you know what? We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun with it. And good on them, because it seems like they were having the absolute time of their lives doing this movie. And, I really wish I could be part of it. Okay, now for the part which could either make this movie or break this movie. Special effects. There's a whole lot of gore. Like, hobo with a shotgun levels of gore in some scenes. And this movie uses a lot of, it uses a lot of CG blood. CG blood never looks good. It never will. Please stop trying to use it. It's a lazy, cheap cop-out when you're too lazy to just get some fake blood or even just ketchup and syrup. It doesn't even have to be high-grade stuff. You know what? They knew that. Because for all the scenes that there was CG blood that looks terrible, there were some scenes which used practical blood that looked disgusting and awesome. So, as much as there is CG blood which can kind of rip this movie, kind of bring the movie down, they also used practical stuff, which was awesome. And also, they had this really cool effect going. This is kind of camera work, but I'm also going to keep talking about it, because it's also technically a special effect. Where there are scenes when he's on the phone trying to call his doctor friend to find out can he be cured, and he'll be running by a wall or something, and the phone, you'll see the other side of the conversation on the wall. It's stuff like that I thought was really cool. Like, you see, people having conversations on a phone or something, or just even, a different conversation Statham doesn't even know what's going on, but it shows up on screen in, a TV or on a wall. So you kind of know these two sides of what's going on, which I thought was pretty cool. Music. Good score. Nothing totally memorable, but, yeah, it was passable. It was fun. Aside from the theme song that used at the end, it was awesome. Going back to writing, I forgot to mention this. This movie loves to be creative with its murders. And I'm not going to spoil a lot, because I don't want to spoil it. But there is some, really creative deaths in this movie. And it's awesome. Sorry. So, when it all comes down to it, can I recommend Crank? Definitely. It is a solid action movie. On the enjoyability factor, 3.5 Raptor claws out of 4. On the actual factor, on an actual movie review factor, 2 Raptor claws out of 4. But you know what? In terms of just enjoyability, just watch the movie, but just how bizarre it is. Unless you're under 18. Well, if you watch it if you're under 18. Just don't get caught by your parents. Believe me, there are some scenes I didn't want to talk about in this review. You do not want to be caught watching them. Because when he needs adrenaline, he needs adrenaline. I'm not even making this up. The movie actually goes out there. But if you're looking for a stupid, mindless, cheesy action film that doesn't have plot, that's surprisingly bright and colorful, while also graphic and just goofy fun, Crank is definitely worth a watch. And it's much cheaper just to buy the 2-pack. And I can already tell you now, Crank 2 is worth it. Both these movies were fantastic. I know it's kind of spoiling when I review Crank 2, but just telling you right now, this Blu-ray 2-pack, it's about $6 at Best Buy. Buy it even if you don't really want to watch the second one, even though to me it was better than the first. Just buy it. Crank was worth it. It was a fantastic, goofy, over-the-top movie. And yeah. So until next time, you guys, this is the Media Raptor saying keep cool, and I'll see all you dino dudes around. Later!